You know, you can trust her, number one. She's smart.
Yep.
She has a photographic memory. She works very, very hard. And so she has qualifications to do it, and she's very successful.
We arrested a former employee of who was working at Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. She was arrested yesterday for several charges.
It was quite a thing of shock and pain to Oprah to have this kind of allegation leveled against something having her name as a forefront.
So Rose McGowan has put Oprah on blast.
At the end of the day, Oprah is not the end-all, be-all of everything.
She was able to say what she said, and then I had my rebuttal.
It felt so shady.
What is that?
Like, what does she get from that?
Imagine dating one of the most powerful women in the world for almost 40 years. What secrets would you have? What truths would you keep under wraps?
Been able to find my own happiness and define my own skills, my own talents, my own abilities, and I'm satisfied with that.
Stedman Graham, Oprah's longtime partner, has been quietly watching her empire grow. But could he be the one to finally spill the secrets behind Oprah's world? Let's just find out.
I'm dedicated to her happiness, and so that's great for her. And I want her to be the best she could possibly be, and she's done a pretty good job of doing it.
Questions are swirling. What has Stedman seen over the years? Is there a book in the works? And just how much does he really know about Oprah's darkest secrets?
I did. I got really mad at him. I was like, I don't care how many Oscars you have or whatever. And like, what are you biting a 9-year-old? What the heck's wrong with you?
So Oprah Winfrey and Stedman Graham have been together since 1986, which is an incredible 38 years. Their relationship is pretty unique. They've never married or had kids, despite all the public speculation. Stedman, who's a successful author and businessman, tends to keep a low profile, often staying out of the spotlight that's always on Oprah. They first met at a charity event back in 1986 and have been inseparable ever since. When people asked Oprah about their relationship in 2023, she shared some insights, but it's clear they've got their own way of making things work. "The most romantic thing I do is make hot water cornbread," she said, sharing the recipe for the pan-fried cornmeal cakes, which requires cornmeal, water, and oil. "Mothers around the world feed their children on it, and all you do is add the hot water to the meal, and you make these little flat cakes and you fry them in a pan," she explained. "Every time I do it, it's like the most romantic thing I've ever done." According to her 1992 interview with People, Winfrey said her producers were initially skeptical of her new beau, an almost 200 centimeters former athlete and occasional sportswear model. Despite her suspicions, Winfrey struck up a friendship with Graham. "It wasn't until months later, when I learned he'd broken up with his girlfriend and had been inquiring about my dating status, that I gave him a serious thought," she wrote for her eponymous magazine in 2020. At the beginning of their relationship, Graham would commute to Winfrey's condo in Chicago and eventually rented his own apartment just a few blocks away from her home. In 1992, Winfrey told People it had only been in the last year that Graham keeps a toothbrush at my apartment. While Winfrey initially was unsure about Graham, she said in O, the Oprah magazine, that the businessman was a genuine gentleman. "He's so positive, wants the best for me and everyone he knows, truly wishes people well," she wrote. "He's appropriately named because he's steady as a mountain, even-tempered, accountable, trustworthy, patient." In 1992, Stedman proposed to Oprah and she accepted. However, the wedding never happened. Oprah has since explained that she realized she didn't want the constraints of a traditional marriage. In her column in O, the Oprah magazine, she wrote about how she had doubts after saying yes to his proposal. "I had doubts. I realized I didn't actually want a marriage. I wanted to be asked. I wanted to know he felt I was worthy of being his missus, but I didn't want the sacrifices, the compromises, the day in, day out commitment required to make a marriage work. My life with the show was my priority, and we both knew it." She continued by writing that he has individual personhood. He isn't just Oprah's man, and they share the same important values. "And because we relish seeing the other fulfill and manifest their destiny and purpose," she finished. Now you see, maybe that is why there's been a lot of talk about how Oprah seems to always be focused on herself, with some wondering if she's ever really considered how Stedman feels. People speculate that this might be why Stedman is reportedly fed up with the constant pressure and spotlight. There are even rumors that he's pushing for a deeper look into her alleged crimes. It's like maybe he's had his fill of living in her shadow and wants to shake things up. For ages, Hollywood Hollywood's been pushing all sorts of bad stereotypes that messed up how a lot of people saw black folks. Back in the day, there was a big debate about how limited roles pushed black actors into playing these stereotypes just to get by. Now, it seems Oprah's getting some heat for her part in this. Dave's really fed up with how people like Oprah can just gloss over these issues and act like everything's fine.
Did you find yourself spiraling
downward? Well, first of all, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Oprah has been subtly hinting at Dave's downfall, right? She seems to have a knack for sensing when things aren't right. And you're right, Oprah's had her fair share of controversies, accusations of smear campaigns against critics, sabotaging careers, and some really disturbing claims.
Oprah legitimized the notorious criminal Joe Teixeira, aka John of God, as a miraculous faith healer, one who could cure cancer.
Back in 2007, Oprah Winfrey launched the Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, inspired by Nelson Mandela. It faced initial opposition from the South African government due to its high costs in a poorer area. When the school opened, its luxurious facilities like salons and gyms raised eyebrows. Over the years, scandals have surfaced at the school, but conspiracy theories about HT remain unsubstantiated.
Oprah, look up, man.
So Oprah built this $40 million school in South Africa, and they had 152 students attend. Oprah actually handpicked the 152 students who attended her school, but it wasn't long until some of these students were being harmed by one of the employees of the school. Her name is Virginia, and she was 27 years old at the time, and she was charged with 13 counts of getting inappropriate with the kids. Virginia got physical with at least 6 students aged 13 to 15. So these students were handpicked by Oprah to go and live at this academy, and one of these employees who is managing the dorm is physically touching them and doing things to them and harming them. The ACE scandal that has rocked Oprah Winfrey's South African School for Girls does not reflect badly on the famous talk show host, wrote The Times, a Johannesburg newspaper, in an editorial. It reflects badly on this nation, and it should not be surprising that it manifested itself in Oprah's school. Oprah should not be condemned for allegations made against this matron. She should be praised for her decision to aggressively deal with it. This incident was a black mark for South Africa, which has had issues with children being harmed by school employees. Oprah's decision to place these students in harm's way by an employee she selected was deeply concerning. After the news about Virginia broke, Oprah took decisive action. She traveled to South Africa with a team of investigators to uncover the full extent of what had happened at the academy.
6 students of the 152 accepted students by Oprah to attend the institution, laying accusations on the dorm matron Virginia Tinley Mascabo.
So it's a good thing Oprah went down to that school in South Africa to investigate, because, you know, her name's all over it. And yeah, unfortunately, that Virginia employee got cleared of all charges. Justice systems, they're messed up everywhere, right? And get this, Virginia turned around and tried to sue Oprah for defamation, even though she was found innocent. But hey, that's not the only scandal to come out of Oprah's school. It's been one after another since it opened. Less than 2 years later, there was another incident where some students were involved in physical altercations. A 15-year-old urged the victims to keep quiet and not tell their parents or investigators. 7 students ended up suspended from the school for allegedly intimidating others and engaging in inappropriate behavior. A letter sent to one of the suspended girls' parents reportedly read, "You have been found guilty of physical contact of a S nature with another pupil on campus, H bullying other girls on campus, and of being dishonest by not telling investigators the whole truth." So people are puzzled why Oprah visited the school less than a year ago to sort things out. Yet issues like this are still happening. How does a 15-year-old get away with pressuring their schoolmates into keeping quiet and lying to officials about it? And this next incident is even more disturbing. So apparently less than 2 years after that second scandal, cops found a dead newborn at Oprah's school in South Africa. One of Oprah's handpicked students, who hasn't been identified yet, gave birth there. Instead of seeking help, she reportedly ended up putting the baby in her backpack. She had to go to the hospital later for bleeding, probably from giving birth in the school. It's a really sad and messed up situation. Oprah can't control everything in her students' lives, but she can choose who she associates with. So when some folks think of Oprah Winfrey, they can't help but think of Harvey Weinstein too. They've been linked for over 2 decades as friends. A lot of people argue that Oprah couldn't have not known about Weinstein's reputation, which has been shady since the 90s. When he faced all those accusations and cancellations, Oprah allegedly reached reached out to offer support, though her team denies it. But because of her longtime friendship and sympathy shown towards him, people wonder why Oprah would stick by someone like him, especially given his disgusting behavior. Now, here's another celebrity Oprah brought into the limelight, John of God, this so-called healer. Oprah basically gave him credibility by featuring him on her show. But here's the creepy part. Turns out he's a criminal. John of God had this healing center in Brazil where he claimed to use spiritual powers to help people, but instead, he was abusing them. It's unsettling that Oprah's pals seem to include all these shady characters who harm others. There's this awful story about him where he assaulted a woman during a private session at his center. He'd manipulate vulnerable people, using his supposed healing powers for his own selfish gains. Oprah's show gave him a ton of success and new clients, which is really disturbing considering what he was up to. Yeah, it all went down in 2010 during Oprah's Do You Believe in Miracles segment where she interviewed John of God. That definitely boosted his profile and gave him a lot more fame. But then we found out he was a total creep. Oprah did say she empathizes with the women who spoke out against him, but the damage was already done. And you're right, there are other rumors out there about Oprah and some of her other connections, like Jeffrey Epstein. But honestly, if you look back at the past, you will be reminded Oprah has been at the center of a number of controversies, from allegations that she engages in smear campaigns against her critics and sabotages their careers, to the more disturbing claims that she is involved in human tea in this industry.
Oprah legitimized the notorious criminal Joe Teixeira, aka John of God, as a miraculous faith healer, one who could cure cancer.
During an interview, Elijah spilled tea on a really serious matter going on in the industry. He said, "Clearly something major was going on in Hollywood. It was all organized. There are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind. There is darkness in the underbelly. If you can imagine it, it's probably happened." Following Elijah's lead, Corey Feldman, another former child star, stepped up and exposed the abuse and exploitation he and his peers suffered.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
The idea of freedom shook up the entertainment industry last year, grabbing everyone's attention and sparking discussions far beyond box office stats. But what's really turning heads is the unexpected comeback of beloved child star Macaulay Culkin, famous for his role in Home Alone. In an alleged interview, Culkin has dropped some bombshells that have everyone reeling.
He reached out to me because a lot of things were happening, big and fast with me. And I think he identified with that.
While concerns about child exploitation in Hollywood have been raised by some former child actors, including Elijah Wood, they typically focus on real issues rather than sensationalized claims involving Satanism and ritual. Stories like these, found on fake news and conspiracy theory websites, only serve to spread misinformation and confusion.
Working in this industry, it can push you in a lot of different directions that are not necessarily.
And recently, Corey Feldman has also been outspoken about the ways Hollywood can exploit young talents with the help of their handlers. Over the past few months, numerous revelations have shed light on various aspects of Hollywood, including the misconduct of the elite and the exploitation of individuals, highlighted by a controversial film. As the industry's darker side becomes more exposed, additional revelations continue to emerge.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
Corey Feldman's claims about his experiences in Hollywood have not received the attention they deserve. He entered the industry as a child actor and gained fame for his role in the 1985 film The Goonies. Unfortunately, like many young actors, Corey faced inappropriate behavior from individuals within the industry and from his own family. These experiences highlight the darker aspects of Hollywood that young actors may face.
So by Goonies, I started to lose a little bit of it, and then by Stand By Me is where I came into my...
Were you already doing coke on Stand By Me?
No, hell no.
And if you talk about smear campaigns against her critics, you would really like Monique Oprah's controversy at the top. And if you don't know, let me tell you that Oprah has totally ruined Monique's career, that she is allegedly now about to get homeless. And look at Oprah, who hasn't even apologized to Monique for the damage she has caused to Monique.
So for 8 years, my family has suffered and my career has suffered because what I would not allow those entities to do was bully me.
But why hasn't Oprah apologized yet? Obviously, because of her ego and pride. In 2009, Oprah and Tyler Perry released their Lee Daniels-directed film Precious to the world. The makers of the film made the decision to send Monique on a publicity tour in order to capitalize on the enthusiasm produced by the media as a direct result of the positive critical reception the movie garnered. She said, "I had no idea I'd been blackballed because I don't think that Hollywood has turned its nose up to me," said the actor, suggesting someone had decided to teach Monique a lesson because she's not playing the game. And you know what? The thing that left me in awe was that Monique literally said that Oprah was making unreasonable demands during their movie campaigns. This is what Monique said: "We were out on the campaign and she was making unreasonable demands." And this is where reverse racism, I think, happens. After that, Lee Daniels allegedly made threats against Monique, telling her that she would face something ugly. Lee was taking Oprah's side, but after some time, Monique revealed that Lee said some strange things about Oprah. Monique said, "I think that those are feelings that Mr. Daniels is having." He said, "You know, Monique, she didn't thank the producers at the Oscars. She didn't thank the studio, and that's just not things that you do." This makes me hypothesize that Oprah is also not good to the junior artists or the staff that are usually present during the movie. It would appear that the general public has long suspected that Oprah is hiding something. Well, this was just a little chunk of Oprah's hidden gruesome activities. Monique has been quite outspoken about the fact that nobody believed her when she informed them that she had been bullied by her older brother Gerald when she was 11 years old. The two stopped talking after Gerald was convicted of another woman and sentenced to 12 years in prison. And in 2010, Gerald accepted an invitation from Oprah to appear on her show. Oprah even made an effort to bring along Monique. Monique told Oprah she wouldn't appear on the show even if her brother asked to appear. Oprah shocked Monique by inviting not just Gerald, but also their two parents, who had minimized the she went through prior to the show.
I did assault and inappropriately touch my sister in manners that were not comfortable for her. And for that, I apologize.
Monique was devastated, but Oprah ignored her attempts to comfort her. After seeing Oprah for the first time in Hollywood, Monique was skeptical of Oprah's claim that she didn't know Gerald was bringing her family.
That me and my mother was not talking. I shared with her we were in a really bad place. I shared with her I was hurt.
And then there is this Taraji P. Henson incident. Rumors of a feud between Oprah Winfrey and Taraji P. Henson surfaced during the press tour for the upcoming Color Purple musical film, where she discussed that she has always been underpaid. Speculation gained momentum after a viral video prompted fans to analyze the body language between the two stars, fueling rumors of potential tension. Nevertheless, Oprah and Taraji promptly took to social media to address the rumors, unequivocally dispelling any notion of a feud. Oprah praised Taraji's talents and expressed enthusiasm for her portrayal of Shug Avery in the film, while Taraji defended Oprah, emphasizing the unwavering support and guidance she had received from her. The rumors were swiftly quashed as both actresses showcased solidarity and mutual admiration. Undoubtedly, Oprah Winfrey has erected an influential media empire that spans television production, acting, and publishing. Her outstanding contributions have garnered her a plethora of accolades, notably the esteemed Presidential Medal of Freedom. Beyond her considerable achievements in media, Oprah is acknowledged for her philanthropic endeavors and advocacy on diverse social issues. During a specific moment, however, there was a lack of synchronization between Oprah and Taraji. At the press event on December 12th, held atop New York City's Empire State Building, a video captured a moment where Oprah appeared to approach Taraji in an awkward manner. The footage suggests a brief exchange where they make eye contact but seem to divert their attention elsewhere, reminiscent of uncomfortable elevator rides with colleagues one may not get along with. The speculation surrounding a potential discord between Oprah and Taraji may arise from concerns that financial issues could overshadow the film. With Steven Spielberg, Quincy Jones, and Oprah herself serving as producers, there could be a shared desire to maintain the focus on the project rather than personal financial matters. Interestingly, Oprah, despite her considerable wealth, can empathize with the financial struggles faced by Black actors in Hollywood. In a December 19th interview with Oprah Daily alongside her close friend Gayle King, Oprah revealed that she received only $35,000 for her role as Sophia in the original The Color Purple. She emphasized that she would have taken on the role for nothing, underscoring a shared understanding of the financial challenges within the industry. During the interview, Oprah remarked, "That's how you know you really love something, when you would do it even if nobody was paying." Social media comments suggest that Oprah might have been aware of the perceived underpayment of The Color Purple musical stars, including Fantasia Barrino, Danielle Brooks, and Taraji, prompting discussions about their dedication to the project. One person on the internet wrote, "The original Color Purple was great. I don't need to see it again. Oprah thinks she got the Midas touch, and why Whoopi Goldberg didn't have anything to do with the new Color Purple. She probably knows Oprah better than any one of us. I'm just saying." Another one added, "I hope she is feeding people in Hawaii or give them back their land. That money went to her lunch." That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.